Popularized by Hollywood as the villain of Braveheart, Edward I was far more complicated than a cliché bad guy. He was both loved and hated in his time, and is remembered as both a capable ruler as well as a brutal oppressor. As a young prince, Edward led a perilous crusade to the Holy Land, holding his own against the Mamluk Sultan Baybars. There, while he slept one night in bed, Edward was attacked by an assassin. With his bare hands, Edward fought and slew his would-be killer. Perhaps this was an indication of the prince's future determination. Young Edward learned that his father had died, and he himself was now King of England. Edward was heavily involved in legal reform, and he put much effort inquiring into his country's feudal structures. He issued new regulations regarding criminal and property law. But much of Edward's energies were directed toward war. He subdued rebellions in Wales, solidifying English rule by building new castles across the Welsh countryside and bringing in English settlers. The king also involved himself in a fierce succession dispute in Scotland, which led to Edward claiming overlordship of the country. During the First Scottish War of Independence, King Edward battled ruthlessly against rebels like William Wallace, who sought to keep English rule out of Scotland. Brutally efficient and ever ruthless in battle, Edward earned the nickname Hammer of the Scots. However, Edward's greatest challenge came when the King of France, Philip IV, seized the English-held Duchy of Gascony. Through tenacious fighting, Edward reconquered Gascony from the French. But war with France proved expensive, and Edward's taxation was voracious. Both the church and Edward's subjects complained of Edward's burdensome taxes. At 6'2", and with a domineering disposition, Edward's physical presence was as intimidating as his style of rule. He was a successful king who enhanced royal authority and established the English Parliament. Those who felt his wrath, such as the Scots, did not mourn his passing, but he was without question one of England's most competent kings. Edward Coate calls him the English Justinian for his legal accomplishments. William Stubbs credited Edward with shaping English institutions, helping to develop constitutional monarchy, while Thomas Tout viewed Edward as more of a ruthless pragmatist, ruthlessly exploiting the law to subdue his rivals among the English barons. Modern historians generally agree on the significance of Edward's reign. Love him or hate him, there is no denying that Edward stands out as a landmark king in England's history.